They say some places get under your skin. For the last few weeks, I can't seem to look away from a single point on the map. The lookout at Ben Major. It's funny how a tiny dot on the GPS can take so much real estate in your head. Today, I'm heading out for a solo overnight run to explore a few state forests I've been meaning to properly tick off my list. The plan? To navigate through Waterloo, push deep into Ben Major, stand on that northern ridge lookout, and reach Mount Cole before the sun beats me to the horizon. First stop, Waterloo. It's not the biggest park, but it earns its keep with flowy tracks and fast fire trails. Terrain here is a moving target. 1 minute, it's hard packed and fast. The next, you're wrestling ruts and damp clay. About 20 minutes in, something shifts. The city legs start to fade, and you stop thinking about emails and grocery lists. And you start feeling the bike. The suspension loading up into the corners, the rear tire hunting for grip, and that subtle vibration to the pegs. I'd been bracing for the worst after all this rain, half expecting the clay to have turned the tracks into that treacherous, wheel-clogging grease. I've never been entirely comfortable navigating a fully loaded bike on wet clay. It's usually a recipe for disaster. But today, the trail surprised me. Aside from a few slick spots and damp ruts, the ground is firm. It's making for absolute prime winter riding. Leaving Waterloo, the landscape shifts. Moving into Ben Major, the trails feel more rugged and tucked away. morning zigzagging the lower tracks that make up the west side of the park, getting a feel for the bike under the weight of the camping gear. The winter conditions require heavier kit. I've packed a 4-season tent, a -8-degree synthetic sleeping bag, and my winter liner. This setup adds considerable volume to my loadout, so much so that my 25-liter Endurostand top bag is pretty much at capacity. I've only ever passed through Ben Major. It wasn't until now that I finally set aside some time to explore the trails properly. I haven't crossed paths with another living soul since I got into the forest. There's a sacred kind of quiet that comes from having the entire forest to yourself. It's a reminder that sometimes the best company you can keep is the wind through the trees and your own thoughts. Time to point the front wheel north towards the lookout. This is a section of the ride I've been waiting for all day. The track starts to tilt up. The dirt gives way to loose, chunkier rocks. Line selection is everything here. I'll be honest, I immediately made a total mess of it. Came in too slow, clipped a branch, which sent me to the exact spot I was trying to avoid. It definitely wasn't my finest riding hour. Breaking out on top of the Ben Major lookout is the ultimate payoff. The trees just drop away suddenly, and you can see for miles from up here. I ended up staying up here for a good hour. Spent most of my time playing around with the DJI Neo 2. It's such a capable little bit of gear. Honestly, I could spend a whole day up here chasing shots and testing different camera angles. You can watch the weather patterns moving across the valley from up here, and they were a quiet reminder that I still needed to reach Mount Cole before my daylight window closes. As the shadows stretched out, I made my way down the hill and started to transit over to Mount Cole. This is the golden hour part of the ride. That magic window where the light is incredible, but the pressure is on. I keep up the pace on the main forest road. I really don't want to be pitching my tent by headlamp. I managed to scout out a quiet spot just as the last of the sun hits the treetops. There's a real satisfaction in that heavy clunk of the kickstand hitting the dirt at the end of a long riding day. Routine takes over. Gear off, tent up, and a quick bike check to make sure the terrain hadn't vibrated anything loose. With the fire going, the pace of the day finally slowed to a crawl. Just me, some food, and the silence of the bush. As always, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.